Having grown up in Chicago, King Von had been hardened by the life he had become accustomed to. Being part of a gang in the midst of gang violence meant that Von was fearless, and when he got into the music industry, he did not leave this attribute behind. He ruthlessly went after all his ops in his music. Apart from that, he also got into physical altercations with other rappers and humiliated them. These are the 7 rappers who were humiliated by King Von. NBA Youngboy. This would not be the first time that Youngboy has dissed a dead enemy. King Von suffered the wrath of Youngboy's disses while he was still alive, and even when he died. So how did Youngboy's beef with Von start? Unlike Youngboy's beef with G-Money, with Von it started the old school way, through affiliations. When Von joined the rap scene, he became close friends with YNW Melly, a rapper who was not on good terms with Youngboy at that time. Von's friendship with Melly meant that he had picked a side. Youngboy did not mind Von at first. After all, he was best friends with Lil Durk, an artist that Youngboy had put out music with. However, on an Instagram live while listening to Youngboy's track, Von famously said that Youngboy was capping in his lyrics.
Youngboy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
He talking crazy on this.
Oh yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On his ass now.
On his
All that
ass.
cap. You got cap in your raps.
Apart from insinuating that Youngboy was lying in his lyrics, King Von was rumored to have a fling with Youngboy's baby mama. Von went on social media to fuel the rumor, which was disrespectful to Youngboy. First, Von tweeted, "Wouldn't believe the female I just made a hit with." Later, photos of him and Youngboy's baby mama Janya emerged on the internet, with rumors spreading that Janya and Von did not make music when they met, but rather slept together. Janya took to Instagram to clear her name, stating that they only made music as she was trying to get money for her child. Asian, seemingly angry, took to her Instagram to confirm the rumors. According to her, she had seen the DMs between the two and that the music excuse was a lie. However, the damage was already done. Youngboy had already gotten wind of the rumor and had taken it as disrespect. He posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, "I'm gonna make sure my son your daughter since you trolling." Youngboy seemed to have the last laugh, as industry rumor had it that Asian cheated on Von with Youngboy. One of the best pieces of evidence was when Youngboy messaged his producer using Asian's IG account. This was only 2 days before Von's tragic passing. The two had seemingly become so close that Youngboy even had access to her account. That was not enough. King Von would constantly mock Youngboy, especially by imitating his social media rants. With all this out in public, fans were surprised that Youngboy did not address his new op in his tracks. Under normal circumstances, all these would easily spark a beef in the hip-hop world. But to everyone's surprise, NBA Youngboy remained silent. Youngboy would not directly mention King Von until after his death in a shooting outside a club in Atlanta. That night, King Von attacked one of Youngboy's artists, Quando Rondo. Unfortunately, one of Quando's boys, Lil Tim, jumped out of a vehicle and shot Von, who later died in hospital. On January 14th, 2022, NBA Youngboy broke the internet after releasing his song, Bring the Hook Back. In the song, he dissed the late King Von and his entire gang, O-Block. In the song's lyrics, NBA Youngboy outrightly makes fun of King Von's death. This that Squid Game. O-Block pack get rolled up, murder what they told us, Atlanta boy get fold up. It seems Youngboy got the last laugh. Whatever the case, this diss has led to Youngboy beefing with multiple artists, including his one-time friend, Lil Durk, FBG Wooski. FBG Wooski will go down in history as the first known rapper to get into a fist fight with King Von. However, both rappers tell different versions of what happened the day they got physical with each other.
I interviewed somebody, man, and they was telling me about a time when you and Von got in a fight in front of O-Block.
According to Wooski, he and his friend were strolling around O-Block when they spotted Von. Wooski got into a fight with Von before a fourth person joined in to help Von. However, the cops were at the scene and quickly stepped in to intervene.
When we walked on King's Drive and they was standing right there and the police and shit pulled up and they thought they was just gonna stand right there. We got the whooping their ass. Me and him got the fighting then. Some other motherfucker came and jumped in and the police came, broke the fight up. We all got up out of there.
However, King Von had a different version of events. According to him, he beat up Wooski.
Hey, Wooski ain't tell y'all I beat his ass one day. He ain't tell y'all that. He too dumb to remember. I punched his ass up.
This was not the first time the two were going at each other. Their first battleground was on Twitter, where they threatened to kill each other, with Wooski telling Von that he was going to get killed very soon. "You gonna fall as well," Wooski tweeted. To which Von replied that Wooski would get killed before him. "Not before you though," replied Von. FBG Wooski is well known for having committed a murder that would forever change the dynamics of gang violence among the gangs. Initially, killing the younger guys was frowned upon, Von. The young guys would use their fists to settle their differences, and the older guys never got involved in these types of beef. Soon, the young guys got their hands on guns and all hell broke loose. In one of the altercations, a gun was fired and one person was fatally wounded. This was none other than Reezy, a member of Wick City. To make matters worse, the shooter, FBG Wooski, was 12 years old at the time. Wooski's action escalated the feud from physical altercations between the teenagers to an all-out armed affair between everyone in the two gangs. There were no more restrictions, leading to the death of Tuka, who was only 15 years old when he died. Wooski was banished from Parkway Gardens, where he was living with his big brother Big Mike. His big brother was a BD while he was a GD. Before Reezy's death, Wooski enjoyed protection from his ops. However, after his actions, even his brother could not protect him. In 2018, one of Wooski's friends, rapper Vantree's Chris, alias Dusky Thaman, was shot and killed by an op. After his death, Von FaceTimed Wooski to brag and tell him that they were going to surprise them.
We go surprise. You talking about tonight. We go surprise, bro.
Being a loved figure in the community, O-Block members knew that the funeral would be jam-packed with ops, making it a perfect opportunity to strike, which they did. On the afternoon of the 17th of October, all hell broke out at Dusky's funeral.
We've learned a little bit more about the victims this afternoon. There were a total of 6 people who were shot outside the church. It was a pandemonium, a scene of pandemonium right after that happened. Many of those people who were shot were leaving a funeral inside the church.
During the funeral, a car pulled up, men jumped out, and opened fire on the mourners. Some of the gang members mourning their fallen soldier, including Wooski, also pulled out their firearms and shot back. The operation was starting to look like a failure, as no one was getting hit. However, as the attackers were about to give up, Wooski was shot in the head and fell to the ground. Seeing this, the shooters got back in their getaway car and sped off. Wooski was not the only one shot, as 6 other people also sustained gunshot wounds. Luckily, everyone survived, including Wooski, who was shot in the head. Von would go on to release tracks that were filled with disrespectful lyrics towards Wooski and his predicament. In Grandson for President, Von raps, "I've been killing for too long, I'm like a veteran. Wooski got shot in the head, now he's taking medicine." All in all, Wooski is still alive and outlived Von as he had promised back in 2012 during their Twitter exchange. Tekashi 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj. New York rapper Daniel Hernandez, alias 6ix9ine, is not new to controversy. From paying hitmen to get rappers killed, to snitching on his fellow gang members, it's safe to say that 6ix9ine is not really liked in hip-hop circles. Well, at one point, the New York rapper rubbed Von the wrong way, who in turn was forced to disrespect him on social media. It was also through 6ix9ine that Nicki Minaj was caught in the crossfire. The beef between Von and 6ix9ine started when the New York rapper began beefing with 2 of Von's close affiliates. These were none other than Chief Keef and Lil Durk. It all started when GBE rapper Tado allegedly laid hands on his girlfriend Cuban Doll for getting close to 6ix9ine. In the video, Cuban Doll and 6ix9ine appeared to flirt, which must have angered Tado, who allegedly violently confronted his girlfriend. 6ix9ine then posted a video of a FaceTime conversation they had to social media. Cuban showed off her injuries. Later, a video surfaced of 6ix9ine and Tado arguing over the phone, with Tado warning, "I kill people." 1 month following this altercation, Trippie Redd, who has beefed with 6ix9ine in the past, teamed up with Chief Keef and Tado on the new song "I Kill People," which referenced Tado's staunch warning to 6ix9ine. The Brooklyn rapper did not take this too kindly, as he posted a video on his social media hitting back at his ops. "Nobody give a about what y'all did 3 years ago. I don't think y'all understand what I was talking about in my last video. What y'all did 4 years ago, 3 years ago, living y'all raps, y'all don't do. I know that personally." He then went ahead to diss Chief Keef and Lil Reese directly, and even went as far as to threaten them. "What y'all gonna give me, 48 hours? Yo, wait 2 months, this gonna die. Where I'ma die? Chief Keef, Lil Reese, all them y'all talking about. What all y'all talking about? I bet y'all won't pull up to New Jersey now. Jersey ain't even my city, but my brothers out here, you heard me." With Chief Keef being from Chicago, where people are dragged into beefs by association, 6ix9ine found himself at loggerheads with rappers from Chicago. The beef escalated as the New York rapper put out a hit on Chief Keef. On June 2nd, 2018, Chief Keef was the victim of a shooting outside of the W Hotel in Times Square in New York City at around 6 a.m. Luckily, the Chicago rapper walked away unscathed. According to the police report, Chief Keef was staying at the hotel and returned to the location after spending the night out. Upon his arrival, multiple shots were fired in his direction, with none hitting their mark. 2 black males wearing hoodies were seen fleeing the scene following the shots being fired. 6ix9ine's role in the shooting would be uncovered later when he was arrested in a RICO case. Before then, Chief Keef's close friend Lil Durk tried to mediate and end the animosity between the 2 rappers. In an IG live between Durk and 6ix9ine, Durk revealed that a lot of people understood 6ix9ine's trolling to be nothing but jokes for the most part. However, according to him, 6ix9ine went went too far with his Tado and Chief Keef beef once he gave off the impression that was going after Chief Keef's gang, the Black Disciples. Tekashi replied, saying that while he didn't regret anything he might have directed towards Keef and his clique, he wanted to clarify that his issue wasn't with the gang.
Listen, I don't take none of that back because I feel if I do that. But when I said that, I addressed it to that in particular. Like, yo, blood, do something about it. What now? Like, you know what I'm saying?
He even went ahead and admitted that he had nothing but love for Dirk.
Yo, Dirk, we know every time you in town, we know, blood. And we got mad love for you, blood.
However, the love between the two ended when 6ix9ine committed the unforgivable sin in rap. He snitched on his homies.
At some point, did you decide to cooperate with the government?
Yes.
When did that happen?
A day after, November 19th, the day after we was taken down.
On the 18th of November 2018, 6ix9ine and 4 other associates were arrested and charged with federal RICO and firearms charges, including conspiracy to commit murder and armed robbery, and faced up to life in prison. He admitted to being part of a violent sect of the Bloods known as the 9 Trey Gangsters.
Were you a member of any gang?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the gang that you were a member of?
The 9 Trey Bloods.
Audio from the rapper's court testimony also had him confessing to the various crimes that the gang engaged in, ranging from drugs to assault.
What sorts of things did 9 Trey members do?
We participated in a lot of, violent crimes, robberies, assaults, drugs, sorts of that nature.
And then came the moment where everyone in the rap industry turned against him. The moment that would see him attain the infamous label of rap forever.
Mr. Hernandez, do you recognize anyone in the courtroom who was a member of 9 Trey when you were a member?
Yes.
Who do you recognize? And if you can identify that person, could you identify where they're sitting in an article of clothing that that person may be wearing?
As fate would have it, 6ix9ine folded and named his fellow gang members in court.
Anthony Ellison has a gray suit on. Nuke Ajuman Mac has the brown suit on.
Dirk quickly took to Twitter to make clear his stance on the issue by tweeting, 69 snitch. When 6ix9ine's prison sentence ended, no one wanted anything to do with him. Artists didn't want to be associated with him, while podcasts didn't want to give him any kind of platform. Popular hip-hop commentator DJ Academics revealed that 6ix9ine's label, 10K Projects, tried to get him on any interview, but no one was willing to take the risk.
They called me back 5-6 days later. We tried to get him an interview with everybody for him to explain his side. Nobody wants to do it. I said, what? It's our song. Nobody wants to touch it with a 10-feet pole.
However, Nicki Minaj decided to collaborate with the hip-hop outcast on the track Trolls. This sent the industry crazy, as King Von jumped in to give his 2 cents on the whole situation. Remember, Von was also part of a gang, meaning that he considered snitching a serious offense, and anyone associating with such people also needed to be called out. So he went after Nicki, and it's safe to say that he had lost all respect for the female rapper. Damn, and I used to love Nicki. Read one tweet. I know so many that'll do anything to make it. Go against every moral, break every code, trade on every friend just for a taste of the fast life. Desperate, easily moved ass people, and get shit and it don't even be worth all the loss and pain a went through. You chasing that. He added in another post. 6ix9ine then sent disrespect Lil Durk's way by visiting O Block. The rapper visited the spot where Lil Durk's cousin, OTF Newski, was shot and killed. Came to O Block. Came to pay my respect to Lil Durk cousin Newski, who was killed by gun violence. 6ix9ine wrote in his post caption, "We need to change as a community." King Von, who had not addressed the New York rapper all this time, decided to let his feelings known about the incident. That with 6ix9ine, that ain't cool, Von told his followers watching him on IG Live. They got this man running around and it's funny and that ain't funny, gang. Cause it's like this, I don't know the gang. I don't give no about 6ix9ine, I don't know him. But he told on all type of people, gang, and get people locked up and King Von then reminded his audience that the rapper snitched on his former associates, including his ex-manager, Kafano Shotty Jordan, because he allegedly had sexual relations with 6ix9ine's baby's mother. He then added that the rapper's actions would affect Shotty's family since he would be spending 15 years in prison for 2 firearms charges. King Von later advised his fans not to entertain 6ix9ine's actions. "Yeah, I know it's fun and games. I know it's just the internet," he said. "Show some respect. Let's not talk about that's hurting people in real life, Quando Rondo. Apart from FBG Wooski, Tiquian Terrell Bowman, alias Quando Rondo, is the only other rapper who has had a physical altercation with King Von. Unfortunately, the incident ended in the tragic death of the Chicago rapper. The beef between Quando and Von was unfortunate as they were once on the same side. The two appeared to be close friends as videos surfaced of them clowning Von's ops. However, Quando was signed to NBA YoungBoy's record label. Since YoungBoy and Von were beefing, Quando had to pick a side. There was no way he would remain neutral on the beef. Everyone in YoungBoy's camp knew that YoungBoy demanded 100% loyalty. There was no room for sitting on the fence when it came to ops. Fellow rapper No Cap learned this lesson the hard way. YoungBoy took to social media to blast No Cap, saying, "I pay attention to all that slick ass you be doing and saying. You a ass what I call a real rapper. We don't do music cause I don't with you. Stop speaking on me to these people. You my daddy artist. You a worker. You ain't my brother. You." This was in response to No Cap's post where he revealed to fans why he didn't have music with YoungBoy. "Let me go up on my own first because I don't need everybody saying I use Top to get big. We will do music later," the rapper had earlier posted. According to YoungBoy, No Cap had shown disloyalty in several incidents. First, after King Von's death, No Cap did not want to be associated with Quando Rondo. "You ran with me because I was popping at the moment hit the fan. You couldn't even take a picture with Quando. You a you let your mama love you," posted YoungBoy. The second instance was perhaps more damaging since it involved his current op at the time, Lil Durk. "You the same kid who had to clear their name when the internet made it seem like you dissed he an op. Why the would it even matter if the thought you was talking about him? You a YoungBoy was referring to No Cap, responding to blogs that suggested that he was dissing Lil Durk. In an Instagram post, No Cap wrote, "Word to the blogs. If y'all gonna post something, post facts. Me and Durk might not conversate, but I don't speak on his name. He don't speak on mine." YoungBoy could not understand why No Cap needed to explain to the world whether or not he dissed an op. It is important to remember that Durk had collaborated with No Cap in one of No Cap's most popular tracks, Ghetto Angels Remix. Despite this, No Cap was forced to choose between his friend and label. This appeared to be the case for Quando Rondo's situation with Von as they ended up in a fistfight outside a nightclub. On November 6, 2020, Von and his entourage flew from New York to Atlanta, where he was set to have an album release party at Opium nightclub. After his album launch, the Chicago rapper was supposed to head back to his rented Airbnb. However, to everyone's surprise, Von took a detour and headed for Monaco Hookah Lounge. As it turns out, Quando Rondo was also outside the nightclub. One of Von's homeboys notified Von that he had just seen Quando Rondo outside his car. In a split second, Von was out of the car and heading toward Quando's direction. At this point, Quando was on his way to the club. Von, with a few members of his crew behind him, proceeded to attack Quando, knocking him to the ground. Von's guys joined in and started raining blows on Quando as he tried in vain to get away from his attackers. Before they could inflict damage on the rapper, one of Quando's homeboys, who was later identified as Lil Tim, appeared from behind their vehicle with a gun in hand and started letting off shots. Unfortunately, Von was hit on his torso. Lil Tim and two of Von's guys were also shot that night, and it turns out that there were two off-duty police officers near the area when Lil Tim started shooting. When the first shots were heard, the cops started shooting uncontrollably in their direction. Von was put in a vehicle by his guys and rushed to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, those in the car with him panicked while Von stayed calm and tried to calm everyone who was in the car with him. In fact, everyone thought that he was not fatally wounded and that he would survive the ordeal. Although he was alive when he arrived at the hospital, the rising Chicago rapper died during surgery, Lil J. Jeff McGraw, alias Lil J, is a rapper from Chicago who was associated with the Flyboy gang, and by extension, the Gangster Disciples, meaning that he was a direct rival to King Von, who was himself a member of the Black Disciples. Interestingly, Lil J was actually a BD but later flipped and became a GD. The rapper was introduced to FBG Duck by a mutual friend, and the two soon became good friends. The two were so tight that at one time, Lil J was homeless, and Duck's mom allowed him to stay with them. Lil J is well known for putting in work for his gang and built his reputation as a fierce shooter. As early as 2011, the rapper had already caught his first body. In 2012, Lil J started taking music seriously as he and Duck released Critical, a diss directed at Chief Keef. At the time, Keef was blowing up in the rap industry, so the diss also brought a lot of attention to the two young rappers. The two continued dissing their ops and getting attention. They were putting the GDs on the map. However, there was trouble in paradise as Lil J and FBG Duck got into an argument. Eventually, Lil J stopped claiming FBG. He accused Duck of not coming to see him in jail. However, while on interviews, Duck revealed that he never went to see people in jail, even his close relatives. Duck also revealed that he and Lil J were not even on good terms way before Jay was locked up. According to Duck, Lil J was not moving with the gang and always wanted to do his own thing. And when it came to the music, everyone else was putting in work while Lil J was not bringing his A game to the studio. While Duck acknowledged that Jay was a good rapper, his problem was that he repeated the same bars on their songs.
We never thought you couldn't rap. It was just why the you study saying the same.
Eventually, Lil J broke away from FBG and formed We The Ops, or WTO, with FBG Butta and Filmon Razine. However, this was the beginning of the end for Lil J. In 2015, the three were involved in a shootout in a drug deal gone wrong. After an argument with the drug dealer, the trio went home and came back to the dealer's house armed. A shootout ensued, and Filmon Razine was shot and killed. The drug dealer claimed self-defense while Lil J was convicted of murder conspiracy and having the intent to kill and hurt and sentenced to 12 years behind bars. J caught the murder charge because he was committing a crime that resulted in a death. However, he was eligible to get out in 2022, which he did. Rumors have been spreading about the rapper's time behind bars. Apparently, while in jail, the Chicago rapper had a transgender boyfriend. This is where Von comes in, as videos surfaced of him in jail requesting protective custody because of his sexual orientation.
So because of your sexual orientation, you're requesting protective custody, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
However, another clip emerged of the same day in prison where Von did not want to be taken to protective custody because Lil J was also there, which only cemented the rumors surrounding Lil J. What is even more interesting is that Lil J had previously come out denying all these rumors, even before the video surfaced.
Another thing too is people were talking about, some tranny or messing with a guy. Let's clear the air on that too. That's like the number one thing people want to talk about.
When I heard that was the most goofiest I ever heard in my life.
In the leaked CCTV footage, Lil J is seated while another inmate leans over and kisses him. Later on in the video, the same inmate sits on Lil J's lap. However, Lil J put out a statement denying that it was him in the video. "Y'all try to tarnish the face, man," he said. "Y'all try anything. Face don't match, tattoos don't match, body don't, skin tone. Come on, man, make it make sense." King Von's affiliate, Lil Reese, has also clowned on Lil J because of the allegations.
No longer a rumor. No longer a rumor, man.
Overall, it is quite clear that Lil J and Von did not get along at all. FBG Duck. The hatred between King Von and FBG Duck stemmed solely from their different gang affiliations. While Von was part of the BDs, Duck was affiliated to the GDs. The deaths that were linked to gang violence between the GDs and BDs also escalated the hatred between Von and Duck. On January 12, 2011, the BDs shot and killed 15-year-old Shondale Gregory, alias Tuka, who was a close friend to FBG Duck. On the other hand, the GDs killed King Von's best friend T-Roy on Valentine's Day of 2017. Both Duck and Von had made it clear that they hated when ops dissed their dead friends. When speaking to Vlad, FBG Duck revealed that he always got mad anytime anyone mentioned Tuka's name. "That's why I go so crazy when mentions his name. This bigger than what them saying on their songs," he said in the interview. On the other hand, O-Block gang members had this to say about T-Roy being dissed after Duck was killed.
Like everything like that, I don't know. On game. All I know, don't say that about Troy or rest in peace. Duck. Don't say about Troy. That's it.
However, both gangs did just that in their diss tracks towards each other. They dissed each other's dead ops. In January 2019, King Von and Memo 600 collaborated on their track Exposing Me, where they took a swipe at several of their ops, including Tuka. On the track, Von raps, "I'm tired of smelling Tuka and Lil Mark, and I'm tired of scrap. I'm thinking about creating a new pack." On the other hand, Memo 600 raps, "Off that Zico, Tuka, and that Fats, we gon' put in work." Duck was fed up. By dissing his best friend Tuka, O-Block had crossed the line, and now since he had an audience, he was about to light them up. Using the same beat from Von's track, Duck released Exposing Me remix with fellow rapper Ruga. In the song, they went after O-Block's legends such as Odie Perry, D-Thang, and even Von's best friend T-Roy. The two start the track by reminding O-Block that STL-EBT made them after killing Odie. Duck also disses T-Roy when he raps, "T-Roy ain't get shot inside his head, but he ain't make it though. They got so many dead I don't know who to smoke." He continued his disrespect with, "Your homie, he dead. You heard what I said. Sheroid, Odie, D-Thang, and Tirehead." The track was full of disses to the O-Block's dead ops and a few shots to their current big boys, Dirk and Von. The song received millions of views and was much more popular than Von's track. O-Block was not too happy about either situation. They had been outdone in the booth by their rivals and had their legends disrespected. One man whose ego seemed to be bruised the most was Von. He went to the extent of confronting Duck in his DMs saying, "I'm really helping you out, you feel me? Cause your shit ain't hitting on nothing. Now talking about you feel me? You welcome, Goofy." Duck would later reply, calling him a fan. "You really needed to mention me for your to do numbers like all your other silly ass boy. I've been a topic, you know that. Just say you a fan, Lil BD." Duck didn't stop there, as he put out Dead Bitch July 2020, where he continued dissing O-Block. In the track, Duck raps, "Made Chicago legends that was just about business. Said I wasn't going to diss the dead, and okay, I did it. But Leroy and Odie, them dead bitch." This must have broken the camel's back, as a few weeks later, in July 2020, FBG Duck was shot and killed. The rapper was gunned down at Michigan Avenue and East Oak Street in the Gold Coast area of Chicago. And as it turns out, King Von may have put out a $100,000 bounty for Duck to be killed. The feds revealed that someone had put a $50,000 bounty on Duck's head. However, no one was willing to do it. The informant further revealed that the same individual had bumped up his offer to $100,000. It was also revealed that the same person had rewarded the killers with custom-made O-Block chains. Things were starting to fall into place as a video had surfaced on YouTube of none other than King Von giving O-Block members custom-made chains. On October 13th, 2020, the feds raided O-Block and arrested 5 of Von's affiliates in connection to Duck's murder. These were Charles Liggins, aka C. Murda, Kenneth Roberson, aka Kenny Mack, Carlos Offord, aka Los, Christopher Thomas, aka C. Thang, and Marcus Smart, aka Nuwop. The 5 were charged with murder, unlawful use of firearms, racketeering, and assault with dangerous weapons. These are the 7 rappers who were humiliated by King Von. If you enjoyed this video, click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.